All right, guys. I will just share my stream link to Twitter and to our Telegram, and we will start. It's kind of a spontaneous one. But those were the news. Okay, so if you do hear me, I see some people are connecting. If you do hear me well, if you do see me well, please leave a comment in the chat, like a plus sign or something. And just waiting a little more, a couple more people, and we will start. So the topic today will be about the Bitcoin ETF and the news which we were seeing today, namely this one. SEC set to allow Bitcoin futures ETFs as deadline looms. I don't see any messages, guys, but I hear myself on the stream on a separate window, so I bet that that's okay. So hopefully it's fine. While we're still waiting for more people to join. So I just see that, okay, some people are coming. I will start rambling about this news. So, again, SEC saying that we probably allow Bitcoin futures ETFs as of next week. And that news came just today. This is the article on Bloomberg. So we tend to trust such sources as Bloomberg. And that is why, or at least it is speculated that that was the reason of the price booming from $57,000 to $60,000. We actually breached that $60,000 just recently. Even on, was it on spot exchange? Well, I do not see on Binance. Yeah, I see it on Bybit, but this is perpetual contract. Okay, is there any $60,000 mark passed by some spot exchange? For example, this one. So let me go to something like 1 hour at least. So I see here $60,000, just exact number as the highest point on Bitstamp. How about Bitfinex? Highest point $60,000. What's happening there? Is it like $59,999 on Coinbase? And Gemini is $60,000. That's amazing. So probably some people are selling there, but well, it's very weird. It's like a meme. In any case, we almost reached that level. And again, the news saying that we are waiting for that ETFs and they're about to come. So the devil is in the details. First of all, we're talking about the Bitcoin futures ETFs. It's not Bitcoin ETFs, right? So Bitcoin ETFs, ETF is the kind of ETF which is backed by or is tracking the real physical Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin futures ETFs is dealing with the futures, not the actual Bitcoin. Therefore, it's not exactly the same beast. So what we are thinking along these lines is that on the one hand, this is one step forward to actual futures for Bitcoin to be accepted. So it's good news, right? And generally, we all want to see the environment, this industry going forward to develop and so on and so forth. So it's good for even from the regulatory perspective. More people will be able to jump into this industry, to this investment area. So therefore, it's very good. Also, it gives you kind of a additional trust for the system from the government, from the officials. So we want to get that. On the other hand, of course, you should understand that the ETFs for Bitcoin is not the greatest thing for it because Bitcoin itself is a system which is designed to fight the general monetary system which we have now. And by having the ETF on Bitcoin, we may see the same trick as the financial institutions made with other assets like gold, when you have an ETF and which is basically a paper and not a real physical asset. So you dilute the quantity of that asset by issuing this paper ETF. So you can dilute the fiat currency infinitely if you're able to print it, right? But with Bitcoin, you cannot. It's not controlled by any government, any institution, etc. So you cannot dilute it. You can't inflate it. You can't make the more coins that it's designed to have. But with ETF being accepted, the situation drastically could change, especially when it is on physical asset. What could happen is that we will be in a situation when the actual physical asset is not it's not interesting for huge money or huge investors because they will bear a lot of risks. But instead, they could buy an ETF, but this doesn't add anything to the buying pressure on the price. And we all want to see the pressure, buying pressure, which will bring the price higher. So we are diluting the actual buying capability of our asset by issuing those ETFs. So long term, it's not so clear is it good or not. But so there are some things like that. But let's look at the exact news in any case. So first of all, it's not Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin futures ETFs. And there are some things which you would like to pay attention to. First of all, let's pay attention to how they phrase all that, all the sentences in this article. So what they say, SEC is poised to allow the first US Bitcoin futures exchange traded fund to begin trading, according to people familiar with the matter. Which people? It's not official statement. So it's just like unknown source of information. And again, the SEC is poised to allow. So it doesn't mean that it's clear that they will allow. Of course, it's not clear. The regulator isn't likely to block the product from starting to trade next week. So what do they say is that they will not block it, but it's not 100% clarity on that. It's unlikely that they will block it. So again, if this unknown person or people familiar with the matter would say that, okay, SEC will not block, and that is much more like clear statement. Here they say regulator isn't likely to block. So it doesn't promise you anything. It's just saying that there is a chance that they will not block. Okay. The proposal by ProShares and Invesco Ltd are based on futures contracts and were filed under mutual funds rules that SEC has said provide significant investor protection. So indeed, you're having more safety on that side. Okay. A spokesperson for the SEC declined to comment, as did an official at ProShares. So they do not comment that. Well, that makes sense because they cannot release the information until it's officially open for the release. But still, it's kind of gives you more uncertainty on the matter. All right, what else do we have here in terms of the news being interested or clear or not clear? Okay, it's Bitcoin climbed some price. The SEC argued that the crypto space plagued with investor hazards and so on and so forth. Okay, something about the BTC itself. So basically, they just discuss what's happening about this situation around the ETF for BTC during the last years. So 4 futures-backed Bitcoin ETFs could begin trading on United States exchange this month, with deadlines for application from VanEck and Valkyrie, Valkyrie also approaching. Meanwhile, dozens of cryptocurrency exchange-traded products have launched in Canada and across Europe. Valkyrie declined to comment. Makes sense again. But what's important? Could begin trading. Well, that's true. They could begin, but could not as well. In any case, the major point is that next week we will see the resolution of this situation, and probably if this is correct, then we'll see a strong spike on Bitcoin. And that is why we see that rise. So on the expectation of this to occur, we are seeing this few percent rise, something like 5%. The point is, of course, there are trading bots. So why this happens so quickly? As soon as the news appears, we see the trading bots following the tweets because it appears on Twitter, and they start to push longs. So they start to buy, and that's how we see the price going up. And again, as soon as we discussed this several times before, so we see the price going higher and higher and higher recently. And generally what we do see is that we see the higher lows and higher highs. So that is a bullish case for BTC, despite of the long and deep correction which we had from $65,000. All right. But in any case, the higher price goes, the more likely it continues to go higher, and the more likely we will see $65,000 breached. And that is actually the common feeling, common belief currently on social media like Twitter, probably Reddit and all others. And everyone is very, very bullish right now. I am cautious as usual, but we have to follow the trend. So trend now is at least short term or maybe mid-term, it is bullish, okay? What I would like to point out though is that if we look at the technical picture, here, what we have, and I did post this on Twitter, I did post it on Telegram yesterday. So we have this ascending channel, right? And this ascending channel is pretty clear, and what it shows, the price, what price shows us is that we just broke it. So I would say that this is actually pretty weak breakout, because even here, when we had, no, sorry, here, it was the news from El Salvador, which made mining on Bitcoin mining first time with volcanic energy, and that on that news price pumped like 10%. So how do you think which news is stronger? Which news is more impactful about the mining from El Salvador or from the potential ETF announcement on Bitcoin futures? Never mind. I think it's actually the latter one is much stronger, much more impactful for the market and for Bitcoin price. Instead, well, despite of that, or in any case, it brought pretty small rise, and moreover, it's not only the small with respect to different news, but it's also small, and even considering with volume, it's also small on the breakout of that point. We actually did test this high, so $59.6 thousand, something like that, and again we already broke it to the upside. So instead of having a massive liquidations coming from that region, we don't see anything like that. So what this is like one point, and what I'm saying here is that if we omit this jazz with all that news speculations and FOMOing, we have this ascending channel, right? And the point here at that very moment is that we did test it several times, and that there were 2 attempts of breaking it to the upside. We might see 2 possible scenarios coming into the game. First, the price will go to the bottom of the channel after we have the rejection from the upper part of the channel. We will see the breakout. Okay, so this is kind of a bearish scenario. This is more bullish, but here we'll see potentially 2 possible outcomes. First, we will go, well, of course we may go to the moon from that point. This is like super bullish, but then we'll go to test it. We'll go to test something like 60,000, 69.5, and at the same time maybe the this support line, which before was the resistance line. And upon the test, we'll see either the breakout back or the rejection of this support from this support. So if this is the breakout here, if we don't see the support holding, then this thing is just the fake out, the false breakout. And this situation is not bullish because we tried to do that, but we failed. So then, as soon as we saw such a long rise, and as soon as we see many highs going up and up, and also if we look at the short-term picture, we continue to see the bearish divergences. So we still have that stress in the market, which could be released to much longer, deeper correction. So instead of that, we are having the breakout. So again, the key point here is if we're about to break, let's say 65,000, go at least to some higher high, at least going higher, we need to stay above this line. So this line is very important as a support at the moment, and 60,000 basically is well. So we need to go above 60,000, stay there, maybe have a retest, maybe at this point, and then go much higher. So maybe this second higher leg happens on the news when the SEC will officially confirm that ETF is about to be launched. So that's one point, and that's what I would expect to see. That's what I will look for, and when it happens, that's great. If not, then we'll see another round of some more bearish price action here. But still, even if we go lower, then probably it's like 45,000 or something, and then we'll see what happens on the bottom of this channel. Yes. All right, guys. But in any case, even if we see some bearishness here, still this rally is pretty impressive. Currently, when I'm looking at the chart, though, I think I should have another line, something like this. and then maybe like this. So that looks like a ascending wedge, which is a bearish formation. This bearish formation tend to be broken to the downside. Of course, some false breakouts could happen, but if all that news is just a fake, then this is exactly like ideal scenario for this to happen. So let's wait what happens with the news. I don't think that we should rush, especially considering the fact that despite such a bullish news, we see only small rise, and also altcoins don't really catch up. So usually on such news we would expect to see some major rise. Let's say Ether. So while Bitcoin grew like 3-4%, Ether just 1.3, and all the others, like many other altcoins, did show some growth, but very minor one. Some altcoins actually didn't perform well at all, so they go down. They continue going down, while you'd expect them to follow Bitcoin. At least, well, okay, maybe not the same with this, not with the same amount, but at least with some strength. At least you wouldn't expect them going down, right? But some of them do, and actually not some, quite a few. All right, so this is just generally my stance. I thought that I didn't make updates for a while, and I should make one. And there we go. Relatively bullish, but should be cautious with major situation around those news. Oh, I didn't show you this, which I should have shown you before. So Bitcoin has this triangular formation, right? And that was pretty much same triangular formation which we had for different cycles. So if this is a bearish scenario, then we should have seen the decline in price to the support, or at least to this support as support line. But we didn't see that. We see the breakout. That was the first bullish point when we were around $52,000. We didn't see any major correction here. We didn't see the retest. We just continue going higher and higher. So that's pretty bullish, right? Although the more the higher we go without the correction, the more likely we will see some strong correction at some point. But well, this is market, right? This is what we have to deal with. In any case, a lot of there's a huge chance that indeed will go much higher. However, it's a very important days, maybe a week or so, when we'll figure this out. Otherwise, if we don't keep up with such a momentum in price, things might get very ugly. Okay, guys, I think that is it what I wanted to say. So I'll just take a look at a brief look at the chat. Okay, I see some couple messages. Hello, guys. Thank you for confirming the sound is good. So if you don't have any questions, like maybe you want to look at some of your altcoins or any other things to discuss, I probably will wrap it up. And yeah, let's wait for the next week. Yep. So while I'm waiting for you to type in anything which you want to hear, I'll just go and look through the Twitter if I did forget anything to point out here. Well, actually, there are a lot of things to point out. Let's say we were looking at the SOPR, S-O-P-R metrics, which was kind of at the uncertainty region, in a certain region for this area and the price, and it's possible that we're going much higher from here, but we have to hold above 1. So please go ahead and follow Glassnode to see if this remains the same. This breakout of the triangle, which I mentioned before, our accumulation and reaccumulation on Bykov, this situation above $53,000 also played out. That is a little bit alarming. So you see here we have the exchange fund flow ratio. You can see it on CryptoQuant, and the thing is here from the point of maximum point of the market all-time high, we see that this ratio is going down. The idea is the higher it is, the more OTC deals. Sorry, not the higher it is, the less OTC. The lower it is, the more OTC deals we have, meaning that the huge players on OTC, over-the-counter markets, they either buying a lot or selling a lot or both, but in any case they do a lot of trades here. The question is which side, so we don't know, but this is definitely an important trend to follow. So again, starts from April, May, after we see the all-time high of Bitcoin and this major correction, and this trend continues. What else? Oh, well, that is kind of a meme. I also posted this point not because I follow it, but because this is the thing which people continue to post and believe in, like this situation in 2012, 2013, and they say like we will probably see like this two highs case as we saw there, and indeed it's very similar, at least at this point. We saw the breakout of the all-time high here, something similar to that point. We see the new high, some major drop, and then breakout of this all-time high, and it's almost happening right now. So we are very close, and then another like one order of rise, and that would bring us to like 300, 400, 500 $1,000 for Bitcoin. People hope. Okay, this channel from yesterday, and for the Ether seemed to be very promising, more promising than Bitcoin. And although Bitcoin already broke this triangle, but locally Ether seems to be stronger. So we are about to break this support. We already broke it, and we were attempting to test this support line. I think we actually already break it already. So yeah, so we are testing it right now. I think we will break it anytime soon, and then as soon as again we'll see the something like this, that is the path to the new high on Ether. Yep, that is it. That is what I wanted to share, guys. I think nothing more. Well, again, news from Bloomberg, and yep, that's pretty much it. So I don't think that we have a lot of things to discuss from here. Slender X is saying, can you check the Luna chart? Yeah, we can check Luna chart, of course. All right, Luna chart. So we had Luna chart recently for this kind of triangle. This, of course, this was quite far from the support, but the thing is that still this resistance line remains, and we saw the price going, well, basically it's playing out, this triangle playing out, and then price went exactly to that support. So it's kind of a bullish that we hold it. We see it held and already rejected to the upside. So it's very likely that we'll continue going higher because, again, support held. Short term, though, we see a lot of dropping, right? 25%. So yeah, so basically we need to hold about 23, 24, and given the fact that Bitcoin is about to pump even more, well, speculatively or not, that is a nice fuel for Luna to go higher from here, especially from the point of the support being held. Yeah, that's pretty bullish. That's what I'm thinking. If you have, if you don't have it and you want to buy, then it's a nice trade with relatively small stop here at around 34, and then the take could be everywhere, either between this region, or if the market goes too high, then much higher. All right, what else do we have? ZEC USDT. Yeah, sure. I think I haven't, yeah, I had it here. Okay, what is about ZEC? We saw that it made our target here, right? So after this wedge, and what now? I would say that it's probably okay for it to, yeah, it's 61.4.8. So this correction made up to 61.8 by Fibonacci from that growth. So it's already good enough that we see this holding. And generally, again, it looks good. It looks good because it's going up. It's about to test this resistance very close. So I would guess if it does test it, then we see the breakout, because we already had like 1, 2, 3 tests. So probably like this. That would be my guess. So test, maybe another test, and then breakout with the retest. So you either can make long here with stop order around here, or you can make long here with a stop order around there. So it might not get a retest, so therefore this is more likely to play out. But at the same time, this gives you more safety, because if price even goes to that point but then goes down, then your stop order might be triggered. So that is also a possible scenario. All right. Okay, Dash. The last thing, Dash. Well, it's actually pretty similar to ZEC. You see, it's very, very similar chart. So I would say it's the same. The only one difference though is that for ZEC, we saw this low liquidating some shorts below that shadows. So it's probably okay to say that that is midterm low, or short-term low, in fact. And you wouldn't expect this to be broken, so you wouldn't expect another drop like that. But for Dash, it's actually a little bit different. So we have the support line here, support level. We have the support here. Actually, oops, sorry. Let me draw it properly. Like that. So we see this support, and we tested like 3 times. So if we see another test, or it's actually the chance that we do see a test of that support is likely to occur. And moreover, we may get this picture. So it's very clear that we have the support line, the resistance line. And if price goes above this resistance line and holds there, then yeah, then it's probably no need to worry. But if we continue going lower here, so if we see the rejection from that line, then yeah, we'll probably test it and go lower. But you see the picture of the two are picture is pretty similar, but there is some small difference here, so we need to be careful about it. So also there is no clear resistance level at that point, while for ZEC it's much more clear, right? So little less bullish on Dash right now. So we need to break this resistance line. Yep. Okay, guys. Okay. Very few comments, very few viewers, but this is a small channel, right? So I'm even more appreciative that you came and joined me on the stream. That is pretty much it. See you next video. Follow me on Twitter and leave likes and share this video to make this channel grow, please. Okay, guys. I wish you profit. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.